So HS2 is coming, and it's also coming as a spur to Stafford and to Stoke-on-Trent. I've talked to Abby Brown, the council leader, about this before many, many times, and she's on the line with us again this morning after this news yesterday. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, John.
What do you make of the news?
Well, I'm absolutely delighted. Obviously, we've been unclear for a while now as to what the future was of HS2 in general, and then specifically around what we could expect in Stoke. And certainly in the last few weeks, I've been working hard with my colleagues, other council leaders, our MPs, and with various business leaders across the region to re-emphasise how important this is for us.
Abby, can you tell us what it means? I'm not talking about for people who maybe live in the Westlands and want to commute to London a bit quicker. I'm talking about for your average Stokey. How is this going to benefit? How is this huge amount of money that the government are paying out going to benefit Stoke-on-Trent, do you think?
Well, I think there's a couple of things related to that. One is around really emphasising how important Stoke-on-Trent is to the UK economy. Now, that might not translate necessarily directly down to somebody on the doorstep as such, but I guess if I described it as the fact that when I go down to London and I talk to businesses, or indeed when I go anywhere else, I already talk about how well connected Stoke-on-Trent is, and this is further emphasis that we are well connected. That means that we're more attractive for businesses to come here, which means that we have more job opportunities as a result of that. The other part as well is, of course, that with HS2 means that there's more capacity on the rail lines already. So you don't have to be travelling to London to understand that. If you're getting the train, as some of my residents do, perhaps from Blythebridge onto Derby or places like that, we're hopeful that HS2 will mean there's more capacity on those rail lines too. So there's a direct, immediate effect as well.
What if you don't get the trains? What about if you just stay around here and you might get the bus, or you might walk everywhere, or you might just have a car and just stay around here, really? Don't really go to London very often, and you don't use the trains very much. How could that benefit someone living here?
No, absolutely. That's a good point. But I think the fact that we have been included demonstrates how important we are. City Council, along with other partners, have got a number of bids in at the moment to the government for improvements to buses, to improvements to walking routes across the city. And the fact that we've been recognised, that you've heard Grant Shapps say how important it was that Stoke was included, means that the government are listening to us and they recognise how important Stoke-on-Trent is. So that means I'm renewed and refreshed to go out there and get those other improvements too, now that we need desperately for our buses, for our roads, for people who walk. You know, we have a fantastic canal network that people can use to walk and cycle along, and I'm keen to go out and get those improved too.
Because there are people who'll say, that sounds really good, all that stuff. What they could have done is saved £106 billion on building HS2 and help the things that we desperately need help with up here when we are underfunded and overlooked a lot of the time. They should have used that money to help us with things that are actually useful. That is what a lot of your average people in the city will be saying this morning.
Well, I'm just your average resident from Mere, and I just want to have great jobs for my kids when they grow up. I want to live in a really great place. And I don't actually have influence over those things as leader of the council. But what I do is the ability to influence, hopefully nationally, around how important our city is in improving the quality of life here. And, you know, the fact, as I said, that Grant Shapps recognised the importance of Stoke-on-Trent for me means that potentially I've got an open door to push to get investment into those things. The government have heard about Stoke-on-Trent, and now they want to bring things here, starting with HS2, and I shall be fighting every day, as I have done for the last few years, to continue to deliver for the city.
And Abby, just finally, you're sure that Stoke-on-Trent would be a better place for this when it's, you know, let's say 2040 or whatever, when we get this spur, when we get this bit of track to Stoke-on-Trent, do you think it'll help it be a better place to live?
I absolutely do, yes. I think it puts us on the map, and that's what we deserve. I think our city deserves to be recognised nationally, and this is the first step in achieving that and ensuring that people know about our great and fantastic city and the amazing residents we have here.
And it is. Abby, thanks so much for coming on.
No problem, thank you.
Abby Brown, leader of Stoke-on-Trent City Council. 0800 121 8080. What do you think?